Fucking there we go. Well, pilgrims, it's been another 168. So sit on down, load up your corncob pipe, crack a beer. Let's chew on some fucking trail dust together for a couple minutes. How about it? All right.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 83. Keep your eyes on the dirt. I don't want to get shot in the balls. Today's guest, we have James Burns. How you doing today?
Doing awesome, guys. I love your promo. Your whatever that is, just for the introduction. I love it. So well done, guys. Bravo.
Thank you. That's all due to freaking John's hard work, and Joe as our producer does like a lot of that stuff. John put that whole thing together. He got the rights to the music, and at the end of the day, the world can suck our dicks. So that's exactly how we roll here.
Well, so. You can see the hard work. People don't realize how much work it takes to do something like that. That's why I want to acknowledge it. You guys, it's great. It's a great promo, great intro. Yeah.
Thank you. You. And to start off everywhere, Jay, take the reins.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, wanted to thank everybody for joining us. James, thank you very, very much for coming. Like, you are a gentleman and a scholar. Like, I cannot wait to dig into some of the meat and potatoes in your world, dude. Like, seriously,
let's wait till after the interview before you say gentleman and scholar. Let's see. Let's hold judgment on that for a little bit.
I was in the infantry, so maybe my definition might be a little bit different than maybe the scholarly definitions, right, of gentleman and scholar. So we'll see. You seem like a man of wealth and taste, so I can't wait to dig in. So
again, these are things. They may be lyrics from a Rolling Stones song, but really they don't apply. So
yep, and
Yeah, and guys, how was your week?
Joe, did you do too much this week?
So this week was actually a really, really long week for me. At work, we had a go live because I do IT support in the healthcare industry, and we just switched over around about 300 of our health centers from each one using their own electronic medical record system of choice to Epic. One of the biggest go lives for a private medical company in Epic's history. So I pretty much all week was working 6 a.m. till 8, 9 o'clock at night, trying to keep my team and help the other leads keep their teams in check. Outside of that, I mean, the most other things I did was, I think me and John met 4 or 5 times this week. Just going through.
Did you guys play any games, or were you just doing like all the techie stuff?
He's trying to get me to play Gotham Knights. I didn't
Well,
buy it.
I'm trying to get John to play Gotham Knights, but he keeps avoiding buying the game. It's almost to the point where I'm just going to gift it to him because I really want him to play the game.
I actually had
Outside of
a
that,
buddy offer to gift me the new Call of Duty this week, and I was like, bro, just hang on to it for a minute. Like, just chill out.
Well, I
outside of that-
auditioned for the Gotham Knights TV show, so I got a pitch in here somewhere. I'm sitting here, you guys are having a lot of fun talking. I actually auditioned for this new the TV show coming. I auditioned for that.
Really?
Oh,
Now,
nice.
Are you allowed to say what character you auditioned for?
I cannot.
Gotta love those NDAs,
That
don't
fucking
you?
sucks,
But
bro.
he was not a good guy. He's kind of a quasi bad guy. But
Let me.
All righty.
If it's any type of mafioso, like you got the voice for it, so I'll give you that. I'll give you that. If it's any one of those guys, like you definitely sound like you could play a good Goomba. You know what I mean? Like, you know?
Hey, listen, I spent 20 years in New York City. Let me tell you about Goombas, all right? Hey, Joey LaMantia. He got dead on the street last weekend. Trust me. We got Goomba here.
Yeah, there you go.
Fucking love this guy. Fuck
And
yeah, bro.
and I'm assuming that this is for the HBO show that they're working on, and there's been a lot of weird
I'm
stuff
sitting
going
here
on.
wishing I hadn't fucking said it in the first place now.
Yeah,
There you go.
no, and that's okay.
Violating the fucking NDA. There you go. That's my middle name. James C. violating his fucking NDA Burns.
Oh, it's all we pretty much pirate everything we fucking do on this show. So don't feel bad in the least. Like we're all like basically one step away from being hobos. So it's all good. Like
I'm just one bad decision from being under a bridge. I do that. You know, I live in LA, and when I drive under bridges and stuff and see the homeless guys, I go, I'm like 2 bad decisions away from being right there. You know,
it's real amazing how quick life will like just kick your dick in so hard that you're just down on your knees, like humbled. You know what I mean? And it's like, and it'll do it to you like out of nowhere. You know, just right out of nowhere.
Well, that's why I have a girlfriend. She does that for me every day.
Right? I'm telling you,
Reminds
dude.
me. Does Mr. Burns game? Yes, he does. I game on Twitch. I started my first video game ever. I started playing about a month ago on Twitch, and I've never actually played the game for real. And I got my first 2 kills the last time I played.
So
game
what's
was that
your
again?
what's your Twitch name?
Oh, it's James C. Burns.
Okay.
I apologize. What was the game you played?
It's Warzone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right in Warzone. I have my community's fucking awesome. They really kind of, they all gathered around me. So let's try to keep me alive. And my fear is that I'm really fucking bad at it. I mean, I could, for the first 2 games, I didn't find out that I have a PS4. So you direct yourself with the right hand. I thought you had it. I'll do it in the left hand. So I kept going in circles because I couldn't make my guy move. And it was awful.
We've all been there, brother.
I'd be dead before I hit the ground. I get the ground. I run in circles. I run into walls, and people just killing me left and right. You know, but I kind of figured a few things out. But it was just I felt bad for the people playing with me because like I want to hold my weight. I want to carry my. I want to keep my end up. I don't want to have to be the guy you got to keep reviving every 3.5 seconds. You know. But I had a great community. They really made it fun for me. So
that's awesome.
I'm happy about that.
Now the question is though, when you're playing and you're communicating with your team, if you're playing in a team match, are you doing the voice of Sergeant Frank Woods?
Well, this kind of is the voice. Woods is not.
Your voice is the voice.
Well, I mean, yes, but in a situation, it depends on the situation. When it's amped up, you know, I get, Nurse Batshit, where's my smokes? That's how I talk. And it's fucking horrible because I talk to my girlfriend, go, hey, and she says, you can't talk to a woman like that. You know? Yeah, we're.
So, hey, James, it's not 1950, bro. 1950 anymore. You got it. You guys a little bit, Well,
like, that's the thing. I got to make sure that I don't bring, because it's just amplified, right? And it's like, but that's me. Like I was a jock. I grew up as an athlete, played hockey. I was, I've been around guys all my whole life.
Yeah.
Either job sites, sports.
Where are you from? What's your favorite team?
I'm from Western Massachusetts.
So are you a Bruins fan?
Bob, you were a fan. What?
Are you a Bruins fan?
Bruins.
I was. I became a fan of players because what happened is when I came up through, the Bruins were the Bruins forever. So then all of a sudden it became they have a guy for a couple of years. Then they traded Bobby Orr, and they brought in Brad Park, who was like the and then all of a sudden he got confused because he had wait a minute, Espo's not playing for the Rangers. I got confused, so I became a Rangers fan, and I found myself following players as opposed to following teams. Like I'll like some players I really like, and I like I'll follow them. So that's where I'm at now. I follow players. Like I love Connor McDavid. I love Johnny Gaudreau. Fantastic. And there's so many great hockey players in the NHL. I don't really follow teams, I just follow players around.
Yeah, that's really cool. There are a lot of good players.
I was going to say, who are you following now? Like, who are some of your favorites right now? Like, the season kind of just started ramping up. So,
well, okay, I've always loved Austin Matthews up in Toronto. Connor McDavid is like that's a whole other planet. That's Gretzky-like talent. Johnny Gaudreau, Cale Makar from Denver. Of course, Denver has a great team. As much as I hate to say it, I really think Ovechkin's fun. I begrudgingly watch Ovechkin play because he's a beast. He's a freaking beast.
Been around for a while too.
Big fan. I was a big fan of Pavel Datsyuk. I love a lot of the Russians and the Czechs. I mean, there's so many guys. I watch highlight hockey now. I don't like football. I watch like Red Zone. I just watch highlight hockey. Watch best goals.
That's great.
I don't have time to sit down.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
We got New Jersey Devils fan here, Joe Poe. I'm a Devils fan too.
Yeah, we got the Rangers.
Well,
fan
back when they
Gomez.
Danico days, I was a big fan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hockey's great. I mean, I'm more like myself. I'm more of a baseball fan, But I see your perspective. Like, I found myself like looking at other players, like seeing one guy go to like San Francisco. I'm like, okay, well, okay, I like this guy in San Francisco. I guess I'm going to watch San Francisco a little bit to see how this guy does. So it's an interesting perspective when you're a fan of sports in general.
Yeah. I like. There's a certain quality I like in an athlete. The most like I'm not a big fan of the selly thing anymore. It's just kind of, it's almost like taking away the value of the goal. Like, back in the day with the guy, I just like, celebrate it, but the dances and all that, I know it's entertainment, but I'm like, come on, guys, just get back to that goal. Like when you watch football and some teams losing, by 50 points in a defensive player makes sacks the quarterback and he thumps around. Dude, you're getting your ass handed to you. Why are you doing a dance after you made a tackle and you're losing by 40 points? What the fuck? That kind of stuff. I'm like, I think I got old.
Michael Aurelius asks, who's your top goalie right now?
Boy, I don't know names. Like the guy from the Lightning is amazing. The guy from the Rangers is great, and whoever played for the Denver. Again, I don't follow the game enough anymore to know who the new guys are. But when I see things, I go, wow, that guy's talented. But the thing is, hockey is become such a talented sport. I mean, there's nobody who's not a really good athlete anymore. Back in the day, you get a guy who's there because Willie Huber, he's 6'6". He's a turnstile. He can barely turn, but now everybody can play. When you watch college hockey, I can barely tell the difference between the guys going up because they're all so skilled and so talented.
The game got way faster paced, even though they kept the scoring itself almost stayed the same throughout the years. Almost, it's a little bit higher now, but barely. But the game itself got way faster paced. Like way faster pace. I don't know how they did that, increase the pace of the game, but the scoring stayed. That's how good goalies are now. Basically,
goalies now.
It's basically a testament to the position of goalie in the sport of hockey.
It's a testament to the way they're being trained. I mean, again,
absolutely.
The learning curve, like back in the day when I was playing.
Campbell Graham, good morning, brother. Good morning.
When I was a kid, we had to earn our pucks. We had skate hard for 45 minutes, and the reward was you get the stick handle for 5 minutes. Well, how the fuck are you going to develop your skills if it's like we had to earn our water. All right, you got to run for an hour, then we'll give you a sip of water. Like, somehow,
Yep.
getting water and trying to learn how to stick handle was a gift as opposed to a necessity. And that's all been reversed now. I mean, these kids I've been watching training videos, and they're doing things now as a standard, like with basketball. All of a sudden, it became an aerial game, right?
Yep.
Well, hockey's now that it's all that lacrosse kind of movements.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's not accidental. These kids are spending hours every day practicing these skills, and now they're just second nature. Guys are picking the puck up and throwing it in the net. That happens almost every game now. It becomes commonplace.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and then just basically I think because it's such a difficult sport, kids are dropping out sooner. So only the best are really sticking around, because I think, like, if you watch Little League baseball,
It's a very interesting observation. It's a very interesting observation.
It's falling apart because everything's professionalized. If baseball is not going to give you a college scholarship, kids are just dropping off. It's easier to play a video game. So, and hockey is such an expensive sport to play that if you don't see the talent there right away, your parents are investing $10, $15, sometimes $25,000 a year for you to play hockey. There's got to be a result. There's got to be there's got to be some type of remuneration, because if your family's putting $250,000 into you playing hockey, you better get a fucking college scholarship, right? But so youth sports have become professionalized, and that's it's just a sign of the times. But I think that's why hockey is so elevated, and there's coaches for everything. And you've got a stick handling coach, you got a power skating coach, you've got a breakout coach, and the coaching's just better and better and better. So
That's great.
We've got an interesting question from Deshaun Myers here. He wants to know, is there a specific song that gets your blood pumping to get you into voicing characters?
Great question. I actually built an entire playlist for Black Ops 1. And
really?
It's
what you got on there, dude?
I've always used music as a way to find character, to create mood, because it's vibration, and emotions are vibrations. So when I can affect the vibrations of my body, we are like antennas. We receive vibration, we can block it or resist it, but we can be affected by what we let in. And most of my struggle as an actor has been vulnerability. How do I become vulnerable? Because without vulnerability, nobody gives a fuck about you. Even when you have a badass character, you got to feel like you got to understand why they're there. The best villains are the ones you feel bad for, the ones you're kind of rooting for, because this poor bastard, So,
yep.
And so music does that. And I had a lot of Creedence, a lot of Stones, a lot of music from the '60s, which I basically grew up with.
Sure,
more or less.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I just had the soundtrack that Woods would have had.
What are some of your favorites from Creedence and the Stones? Because I'm
of course,
big on
Fortunate Son, Down Around the Corner, Stones, Satisfaction, Hendrix. With the fame, anything Hendrix did. God, no, I can't remember the. See, now you're asking me questions I can't fucking remember.
All along the Watchtower, Wind Cries Mary.
Watchtower.
Like Purple
War,
Haze.
War.
Yeah.
Good God to die for. What is, all these great 60s and 70s protests.
Yeah.
It was just any Vietnam film that you hear a soundtrack, that's what I had going. And that's what I did. I had a routine, man. I come in and I was a big personality on set, because I really didn't give a fuck. I had no idea what was going on. I just thought this was a gig that I make a few bucks with, and I'm on, because I was working a lot of TV shows. I had films lined up. had done the Viagra commercial. I had all this shit going on. So I wasn't.
Which character?
I wasn't making a lot of. I didn't get paid a lot of money to make Black Ops. It just wasn't.
Which character? Which character did you play on the Viagra commeral? I gotta ask.
I'm the guy. I am the guy in the Camaro. You saw me every day. If you ever watch a football game between 2010 and 2016, you saw my ass in a green Camaro. I have actually. I
don't know if I'm proud. I don't know if I'm prouder that we have on this show the voice, the voice of like a famous Call of Duty character, or more proud that you were in a Viagra commercial, because I think that's fucking awesome. Like, that is fucking awesome.
The joke is with my friends, and people make fun of me with the Viagra. Listen, my flaccid member bought my mother a car. So shut the fuck up.
You goddamn right. I used to joke around with the guys in the infantry, and I'd be like, you know what? the ladies can say whatever they want about my Johnson. They can never uneat my ass. Okay, so that's it. That's real. That's it.
Wait a minute. Are you drinking Black Rifle coffee? Are you drinking Black Rifle?
No, the coffee cup. I'm drinking Folgers, man. I'm cheap. It's like, bro, I live in Kansas City, Missouri, bro. Like, I ain't got all the money in the world, okay? Like, but
there he is. There he is.
Oh yeah, he's got. There we go. There we go. Now I'm drinking Folgers today with a splat. They
now sell them in K-cups.
What are you, hey, Squilini, what are you chewing on this morning? Are you still chewing, was it wintergreen?
Same old. Grizzly long cut straight.
Oh, straight. Oh, man.
I don't do that flavored shit. That flavored shit's for fuck boys.
See, guys, our producer, Joe fucks. All right, he fucks. Okay, so I just want y'all to remember that. All right? Like, James fucks too. All right, we know this. We know this. We're hearing it right now. So this is good shit. I love it.
So while we're here early in the show, before we get to the meat and potatoes, I think you both have watched. So wait, what have you guys watched this week?
Oh shit.
How to bring us back onto fucking target on course?
Yeah,
we're way off.
Veering massively. No, I think John was like absolutely astute in that particular observation. No, this week, I guess for my weekend review, I'll try to make it as brief as possible. I got a chance. So these last couple of weeks, if you guys have tuned in, I've done a couple of book reviews from an author by the name of Sebastian Junger. And he is also one of the two documentarians that filmed and then became the documentary Restrepo. So because I just kind of like reread this trilogy of books fairly recently, I decided to rewatch Restrepo probably for the umpteenth time. But then this time I changed up because I watched Korengal back to back with it. And I've seen Korengal before, but the experience and the vibe of Korengal I noticed was way different this time, at least maybe with newer eyes that I'm no longer in the army. And so watching Korengal this time around actually kind of had a little bit more of a what I would call like a fleshy effect on me, where it actually made me think a little bit more. You saw the soldiers that you know very, very well from Restrepo. You saw these soldiers that you're very familiar with from Restrepo in the same interviews. And they're talking about some similar stuff. So a lot of the footage in Korengal is basically leftover footage from Restrepo that was kind of left out of Restrepo. But what Sebastian Junger did when he created Korengal was they fleshed out some of the more hidden feelings and the undercover stuff that kind of comes, when you're talking about the reality of what we do, what we're fighting for, what we, when you come back home and things are just things now, right? And like life and habits is like really weird, like part on a very gray spectrum where like there's not really much black or white anymore. It's like it's all gray, right? And Korengal was a very fleshed out kind of like, it was very cool. It was very cool to see it with kind of fresh eyes, and especially like being back in the civilian world, going through life in general. So I highly recommend both documentaries, Restrepo and Korengal. Highly, again, for like the third week in a row, even though I didn't read the books this week, I recommend there's a trilogy of books by Sebastian Junger. The first one is called War, which is a companion piece to Restrepo, if you're interested in that particular thing. The second one is called Tribe, and the third one is called Freedom. Both Tribe and Freedom I would call novellas. They're not actually novels. They're not novel length. All three books are nonfiction. All right, educate your goddamn selves. All right, I want you guys to start reading more. When you guys text message me, it disgusts me. Your spelling, your grammatical errors. Y'all are functionally illiterate. Oh, by the way, John, guess what I did this week? I looked up nationwide statistics on literacy in the United States of America. Do you want to know how many adults are functionally illiterate in America? 21%. 21% functionally illiterate. So I see 17 people on my stream right now on the Facebook. So 1 out of 5. So 3 people watching the stream right now are functionally illiterate. And probably at least 2 of you have served in the army. so
Infantry.
Here's the scarier statistic. So we got 1 out of 5 functionally illiterate people. The scarier statistic is that over 50% only read up to a 6th grade level. So my continuing challenge to the entire DD214 gaming community is educate your goddamn selves. Pretty please with sugar on top. You guys are better than this. Start reading books, read a comic book, listen to an audiobook, because you'll hear words that you'll have to like look up later in an audiobook. Like, I don't care how you do it. Relearn to love to read, guys. I love you guys very much. So I'm not going to go ranting too much more on that.
I love this rant actually, because that is a pet peeve, and it's a loss of mine, where the internet age has dug into. I mean, I was an avid reader. Okay, it was what I did for. I went to college, so I in literature, massive, a lot of books, and just it's what has formed a lot of my ability to be an artist. Is like when you read, and I disagree with the audiobook thing. If you're driving, great, learn a language, but when I read, especially with scripts and things, because this is what I do for a living, right? But when I read, it's like my brain goes to the gym. It generates images, and those are the images that our creativity creates our life with. If we're not kind of exercising that part of our brain that generates a vision of the future, a vision of what is, or a vision of what was, we're going to have a hard time understanding and processing information quickly enough to be effective in the world. So reading it's got to be, if you go to the gym and do a set of curls, you got to be sitting down and reading 15 minutes every morning just to turn your brain on. Have a book, find something you're interested in. If it could be, there's so much great literature, but avoid doing it on a screen. Put it in your hands so you can control because it's so hard to go back, because when you go from absorption, reading, and then you got to do, one is an in moment, the other is an out moment. So you're absorbing information, but on a computer, I have to go back. You got to use the other part of your brain to go back. It kills your momentum. With your finger on the page, you can go right back. There's no limitation. There's no delay in time between. What does that word mean? Why is he saying that? I'll go back. He said it here. To do it on a computer, you got to scroll up, scroll down. It's just infinitely more difficult, and it disconnects you from the material. So having a piece of written material, written literature in front of you is like exercising your fucking brain. And if I don't get at least 2 hours of actual handheld reading in, I feel dumber. I process slower. It's like when I go on set and they hand me a tablet with a script on it. I go, no, give me the hard copy. I can get in. Even when I rehearse, I don't take it on a computer. I get it on hard copy. I got to have hard copy. What's that line? Boom.
Are you reading anything right now? Is there anything or have you read anything recently that kind of like?
I have a book on the flight deck. It's called Sapiens, Sapiens. It's a story about it's anthropology about how our behavior is not new. The way we function with each other in tribes, and it's not new. Everything we do is basically we're still grunting around like Neanderthals, and it's just a step-by-step exposition of here's why we're doing this today.
I love it. You might have, I might have to check out Sapiens, and you might have to check out Tribe by Sebastian Junger. It's the middle.
I have read reviews on Tribe. Tribe is on my radar. Restrepo is one of my favorite films. It
sounds like it's in the same vein as Sapiens.
Well, when I saw Restrepo, because I was in Afghanistan in 2013.
Really?
Yeah, I told you the USO flew us over there. Me and Kamar De La Reyes, who plays Menendez. We were doing USO tours like every 6 months. We did something. And they invited us to Bagram, and they put us on helicopters, and we were there every day. We flew to a different fob. I mean, all over, and the joke was with my Marine escort. He's saying, "Man, I have been in Bagram for 2 years. I haven't been outside the walls in like a year." Like he goes, "I have seen more of Afghanistan with you than most guys are ever going to see while they're in country," and that really hit me hard to think that his whole experience was like inside the walls of Bagram Air Base, Yep. But yeah,
Experience is definitely varied in Afghanistan. Experiences definitely varied in Afghanistan.
And so we dropped in on a couple really small outposts. I mean, things like, holy shit, this is like the size of it's like, these are the walls, and what's that? You know, like that's Pakistan over there.
That's all you
here's
get.
A field of fire. And so we dropped into some of these places, and I met some of these guys. So when I saw Restrepo, I was like, man, like this is very close. But what I like what you said about the Korengal is like the conversation because you know, it's funny when you walk into a place like that because there's no outlets. You can't go to town. You're in this box with walls and there's danger around you. So you play video games. And so you got this fucking idiot coming in and you've heard my voice for how many hundreds of hours. You think you know me. I walk in, people think I'm like, Woods, come here. Like, here, this is my mom. Like, they think I'm their best friend because in the game, I kind of am your best friend. And so it travels, it transfers. And some of the conversations I've gotten into with kids, 19-year-old kids. I mean, 19, I was a functional fucking idiot. At 19, I couldn't put two sentences
don't worry. Most like don't worry. They're all there. Like, you're right.
But yeah,
even at 30, most of the people you run into over there are still functioning fucking idiots. So
we are.
You can say that. Yeah, I'm not going to disrupt because I'll not say that. I just know that when you see somebody who's been under fire, when the fucking mortar, like we're sitting there and like a siren goes off. There's these huge concrete. What are they called? Like these concrete walls they put up with a roof.
They're bunkers.
Like,
bunkers,
basically.
Yeah,
bunkers. Yeah, they're on, and we're walking around. Siren goes off. Kid goes, oh, come on, let's go in here. And we stand in this bunker. All right, all clear. We have mortar rounds. I go, what the fuck? I mean, mortar round. He goes, yeah, these are just warnings. We have to go in here. Just whenever you hear that, just step inside one of these concrete things. And you're like, this is life. Yep. Every day. You know, bullets, you hear rounds being shot off. I go, what the fuck? This is. I don't care who you are. You have a heightened level of experience in life. You're a better man already than I am because you've adapted to this danger and you recognize.
Or woman. Don't worry.
Or woman. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But the idea is that
we're gonna get in trouble.
There's a certain level of that most people never have of presence. You're present. You have to be present. Or else you don't, it's a survival thing. Presence. You got to be aware of your environment. You got to be like understanding the value of each fucking step you take.
Where's your guys at? What do you do if this happens? What do you do if that happens?
Just,
like all of it.
Just imagine being a young 18-year-old kid, only 2 days in country. You're in the shitter. And the fucking siren goes off.
Yeah.
The mortar hit 3 fucking porta johns over from where I was taking a shit.
Is that right?
Poor bastard.
Wow.
I didn't have to take a shit for another 4 months.
I gotta say, that would close you up pretty quick, wouldn't it? You know?
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
So,
my man.
Talking about mortars, and then Crazy Ace has a good point. After a couple months in country, those concrete bunkers don't get used.
Oh no!
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You just at that point, it's just like if it's my time, it's my time. Fuck it.
There's a.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's a very unique perspective. Like that's something where most people are never going to have the ability to go into life unless you've been really that close to fucking dying. It's really hard to understand that moment before, like, oh shit, my next decision will decide whether I live or not. And very few people actually get there. Sometimes if you're a drug addict, that's when. But when somebody else's could be the likelihood of you not being around anymore, I think it just changes things. It just changes the way you value things differently. I think you move through life differently with that when you had the experience. It makes you more valuable. I trust somebody more who's gone through that. Somebody who's had to deal with that unique pressure of, oh shit, live or die. I trust them more than somebody who hasn't gone through that.
Absolutely. But shit.
Nice. Very nice.
Deep.
So, James, see, I told you, gentleman and a scholar. You're trying to call me out on it earlier. Gentleman and a scholar right there. Like, hey, kids. If you're fucking smart, listen to this dude. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. How about that? So, we'll finish up my literacy lesson for this week. This week, Joe, if you want to pull up, I actually read a fucking Warhammer 40K novel this week, guys.
I got the title.
Okay, I'm going to be very brief about it.
Pulled up.
I'm going to be as brief as possible with this because I don't want to take up too much more of James's time as far as like I want to let him speak and I want him to like because this is fucking thank you very much again for being here. You're a lot of fun, dude. Like I love it. I love it. You're good. You're a good dude, and like we can tell. So
take one. Hey, takes one to know one, brother. Takes one to know one.
Hey, man. I'll say the king says, "Real recognize real." You know what I'm saying there? You know what I'm saying? Real recognize real. I'm as big. I'm all the people I make fun of on this show. I'm just a nerd in different ways, and I think that's probably a similarly held sentiment, you know, for you probably, James. That we all have the things that we nerd out on, and everybody nerds out on different stuff, basically. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this week, John, I apologize. John, I'm going to send you a link over Messenger. And if you could put that link in the live chat,
I got you. Yep.
So this week I read a book called Hell's Reach. Okay, and this book is no shit a Warhammer 40K novel. This was recommended to me by a Warhammer table game player who also happened to be in the army with me. I was in the field. I had nothing to read. I was like freaking the fuck out when I was a private because like I take books with me everywhere. Even if I don't read them, I just take books with me. It's almost like it's my version of a whoopee, right? You know, so like books are like my whoopee. And so John, link incoming right now, or not. So this book is about a particular chapter of these Space Marines. These Space Marines are heavily modified, like, you know, bionic android super soldier. They have like 2 hearts and like I don't know what they're insane, right? They talk in this book about how 100 of them can take over like a star system by itself, just by themselves. You know, they don't necessarily even need armies behind them because their armor is so thick, their fighting skills are so good, like they mop up basically. It's like playing Doom on an easy level, right? Like you should everything. So this book is actually about a siege, and it's about this particular chapter who are basically like their religion is this war. And so this one particular chapter of these Space Marines, they don't have a home world. They live in space, and they are collected from various home worlds, and their whole religion is like an eternal crusade against the orcs, basically. In this particular battle, they know they're going to lose, and they drop 100 of them off, including the main character. And this main character is their war priest. Basically, he's basically a war priest, and he knows. And he just achieved the title of war priest like 2 weeks before they get ready to go into this siege and get dropped off on this planet. So like, not only did he like finally rise in rank to where he is like exalted, basically like as a war priest, but now they're going to drop him off on this planet, and you've got like 2 days or 2 months to live because like we're going to lose this fight, right? Shit. And the whole book is about this siege that occurs because the orc fleet is so massive, just so entirely massive. And you know, it's kind of like Russia and Ukraine, right? Like just unbeatable odds. A bunch of dumb assholes, you know, like just wantonly destroying everything for no fucking reason, right? Okay. And the whole book is this guy like making it through the siege as a chaplain, like as a priest, basically a war. And like it was fucking fascinating. I read this book when I got back home. I literally traveled to Springfield, Missouri. When I got home from the field that week, I traveled to Springfield, Missouri, 45 minutes away from Fort Leonard Wood, went to a bookstore. Because like my army buddy, like my like he's like one of those guys that plays the table games, does, you know, paints the figurines. Nothing against that. We're all about gaming here, right, guys? Like you do you. I had never read a book about some like fan fiction type, you know, arena type stuff that just captivated my motivation, or excuse me, my imagination. And it was like, and it motivated the fuck out of me. So that's why I said motivation. Sorry. This book like actually motivated me. It was like, holy fucking shit. If you're going to go to war with fucking that dude's attitude, because you know what? Like, that's the one that's going to get you fucking home. You know what I mean? And it's a goddamn like Warhammer 40K novel of all fucking novels, right? Like, so this book is actually on my like yearly this is one of the books I read at least once a year because it fucking motivates me that much. It's called Hell Breach. Later on, the author did an after one. It's called Armageddon, but you'll see Hell's Reach down here, but it also says Blood and Fire. Blood and Fire is a continuing, it's kind of like a coda or like an epilogue. A longer, more drawn out. And if you want both of them together, you can get this one. It's called Armageddon. I've gone through at least 3 copies of Hell's Reach because I've either worn them out way to like people I deemed worthy to fucking like pass my fucking Warhammer knowledge off to. So that's Jay's fucking literacy lesson for the week. I'm going to shut the fuck more because I want to hear more from him, the man himself. All right. The actual king fucking sitting here. All right.
Well, I mean, I'm just enthralled by that. I'm like, wow, what a great fucking story.
So, so full disclosure, especially for those of you guys that are familiar with the Warhammer genre, I have tried to read other Warhammer novels. I have failed miserably at all of them. Not a single one did anything for me, other than this particular one. And then I will go on the Warhammer wiki. There's a wiki on the internet. I actually have more fun reading the wiki about the different histories of the different, like, I have more fun reading the wiki about Warhammer than I do the books, if that makes sense. There's an entire library. It's called the Black Library with all these Warhammer books. Oh, by the way, the author is Aaron Dembski Bowden. So let me hold that up real quick because I'm going to do this gentleman some fucking disjustice if I fucking, there we go. So that's the author. Okay. This is the only one. I don't play the table game. Definitely don't give a fuck about painting figurines. Okay. I'm not spending $100 on a goddamn platform. Blah, blah. That ain't me. This book was the shit times 10. John, I got that link incoming. I'm hopping on fucking YouTube on my phone right now.
Yeah, send it in. I'll put it in. And yeah.
Warhammer, some fan made a 2.5 hour long movie off this book that I'm talking about. And I started watching it last night and I was like, holy shit, this is better than fucking Hollywood. It's almost like an audiobook, but it's animated. And like, it is the shit times 10. And like, I'm telling you guys, watch part of the movie, listen to the words this guy uses, listen to how they listen to their life viewpoint, kind of like James was alluding to earlier. These are like, it was just very interesting to me. And I never thought I would have gotten into anything Warhammer ever. I just sent you the link, John. There you go. Put that in the chat.
I'm fascinated by by the book and what you're talking about because I was watching Top Gun Maverick last night in the plane.
Yeah, how was your week? What were you doing this week? Seriously.
I was dipped balls deep into the gratitude, man. See, I fight for gratitude every freaking day because I find that if I can find gratitude in the moment, I'm a much happier man. I'm a much better partner to my woman. I'm a much better friend to my friends. If I find gratitude in everything around me, everything's just better. So it's a practice now. It's not just something I think about. It's a practice. I try to find it. So I have a lot to be grateful for. I have a place, a lake. We have a place on a lake. I'm not going to talk about the location because she doesn't want it to be public knowledge.
No, of course not. Of course not. Hey, OPSEC.
Nope.
Yeah.
But we have we share a place on a lake, and I like in my world. I can do something. I'll do a job today. I may not see it for a year, so I never see. There's no instant gratification. Like everything. Call of Duty. I wrapped Call of Duty on September 9th, and it didn't come out until 3 months later. It's like you don't see the results of your work. So that means to me, doing things like painting and hanging TVs, repairing roofs, doing siding, cutting logs. That is valuable to me because I get an instant. I love sweeping floors. Right? I love doing dishes because, there's a job. I do it. There's a result. It happens instantly. And that, my life isn't like that. My job isn't like, so I enjoy that. So finding gratitude in what I have and what's around me is a big deal. So my week is entirely about that. I wake up, I just do things, but I do things with the idea that, wow, I'm grateful. Wow, my hands work. I got legs that work. My body's still, my brain's still fairly functional. So finding gratitude in things like being able to tie my shoes. Here's one for you. Being grateful, being able to take a shit and stand up from the toilet without help. Because when your knees are bad at a certain age, like being great, because I know dudes who can't do that, you know? Yeah. So owning that is a slice of gratitude every day. Like, wow, I can walk up these stairs and I'm pain-free. What a great fucking thing, you know? And so that's my week. And that's every week for me. Everything else is just the minutia around it, or it's the ocean that my boat floats on. Daily activities, that's not it. What floats me is the boat, is gratitude.
And like Deshaun Myers says, you're grateful for.
Fuck you. All I can say. So, my flaccid member bought my mom a car.
Goddamn right.
There you go. Ain't nothing better than that.
How did you find yourself watching Maverick? How did that occur?
I've been resisting. I've been resisting it because I kind of had a prejudgment of what it was going to be. Because again, I watch films differently than civilians do. Like I look for camera angles. I look for plot lines. I look for are they throwing shit back to what is there a throwback? Are they paying homage to something? Oh, are they copying? I think it was a Joe Kosinski movie, so he has a certain style. So I watch it from two places: character development. I watch it from how dialogue is used, how the editing is used. How do they edit things to make it, and what are the cheats? How do they cheat a scene? How do they cheat, and how do they create an emotional narrative? And how do they use sound? How do they use music? So I watch films from a professional point of view, and then I try to enjoy it too, because it's jets. Who doesn't fucking love jet fighters in America? And so I was resisting it, but I was on a plane. I really didn't feel like working. I had a couple of gin and tonics in, so I said, let's fucking watch. Actually, the person across from me had it playing on, and it had this really cool scenes of them dodging all these Sams. And I'm going let me check this out. That doesn't look. I don't think they'd survive that gauntlet of Sams. I don't know if you saw the movie or not. So I went in, and I was really fast forwarding through. Oh, now he's going to the bar. He's probably going to say the line about ice water. He did. Oh, it's the same scene from he's driving his motorcycle. Yep, there it is. I have a lot of respect for Tom Cruise.
Was the movie
a badass? He's a fucking badass. I can't.
Was it good? Was the movie good? Was it like? How did you feel about it? Like, were you
if I had paid for it, I'd be pissed.
We have a 10-inch on our show. We do a 10-inch scale. So how many inches out of 10 would you give Maverick? Okay, how many inches out of 10?
3, 4.
A fucking flaccid gummy worm. Okay, just limp.
Well, but remember, it's coming from. I'm not coming from an entertainment point of view. I'm looking at. I'm very judgmental. So my judgment is like, really, you talk to me, Goose. Talk to me, Goose. Okay, you can get him. You can do that once. You can't use it over and over and over. No, come on, man. That's gilding the lily. And the flashback to I saved you. You saved. No, come on. With more intelligence than that. And some of the things I get the jet fighter stuff is really cool, and a lot of the stuff tactically I'm not sure that would work. I'm not sure if the relationships. So the things, because I have some insight to some of the protocols and things. That wouldn't. How's that work? But it's the stuff. Okay, now he's got the new girlfriend, and now she's sailing a boat, and Tom Cruise can barely function. Tom Cruise is a fucking badass. He's a fucking acrobat. He probably knows how to sail that shit better, but he's trying to play like he's not good at it. And Tom's not good at not being good. Tom's whole thing is about being a badass. And so when he tries to act like he's always in his movies, he has the hero's journey. He's struggling with something, and he has it's a classic narrative tale.
The hero's tale. It's the
So,
classic hero's tale.
So he's struggling in the middle, and then he kind of finds a way. Now he's the hero again. I get that, and that's his brand, and he's the best at it. I don't care. The Rock's okay, but Tom Cruise is still king. You know,
for all the shit I could talk about Tom Cruise, like I like a shitload of his fucking movies. You know what I mean? It's like what do you say? What do you say?
So
when
does he fail? I mean, when does his movies don't fail? He knows his brand. And
he knows how to market himself, like the whole nine. The whole nine.
Okay, the idea is here's a guy who's my age. He's in, and like I know he calls his hair. I know he's had face work, and he's in great shape. And here he is playing football with a bunch of 20-year-old guys. Dude, I'm a hockey player. I still play pretty well into my 50s, but not against 22-year-olds who are in better shape than I was. I can't keep up. So that whole thing is like, Tom.
Well, do you remember when him and Nicole Kidman did like Eyes Wide Shut? Like everybody was just expecting, even though it was Kubrick, everybody was expecting that shit to just bomb the fuck out, and it ends up becoming like a fucking cult classic, and it still did okay in the fucking theaters too. And it was the dude doesn't miss when he picks roles. He just doesn't fucking miss, and it's like, God damn it, dude.
But the thing is. Can I say this out loud and I get in trouble?
Vanilla Sky, you know what I mean? Like Vanilla Sky, same shit. It was like not your typical Tom Cruise movie, but it fucking worked. You know what I mean?
Even when he played the rock star in that rock and roll movie. He's a really good actor. He's a great brand. Like Cruise is, you can drop him in any role. He's going to do a good job. He's going to do a great job. He's just a good actor. And I think people forget because of all the kind of movies he takes, and I knew a guy who was writing for him. Tom basically has scripts written for him. He hires guys to come in and he dictates, and he has a couple of mandates. It's got to be global. You got to have a global appeal. What's that one about the future? He goes into the future. He keeps reliving every day.
Total Recall.
Yeah.
No,
not
that.
No.
Shit.
That was Colin Farrell. Oh man.
What? The one, the aliens, and he's trying to get in.
They changed it. It was like Live, Die, Fast, Repeat, but there was like another title for it. And it was like robots and stuff like that.
About, fine.
Yeah.
That to me is his quintessential role. Here he is. He's this muck about, fuck up, and then he ascends to be the best warrior in the world. That is his signature piece.
The Day After Tomorrow.
Day After Tomorrow. There you go. Anyways,
yeah.
As far as the film goes, I expected it to have certain things, and it fulfilled my expectations. Unfortunately, my expectations were that they would kind of recycle too much of the original. They got they played him too much. There's things that I expected, and it was rewarded, but. As a mindless film to watch in a plane while you're half asleep, fine. If I had to sit through a movie theater, I would have been pissed. If I had to drop $30 to see that with a soda and some popcorn, I'd be like, you know what? I don't feel. But a free film on Netflix, sure, it's fine.
Yeah. So that was kind of my thing with Maverick was I big Top Gun fan from the original. So with Maverick, I paid to go see it in theaters, and I was disappointed that I spent, $50, 25 for the tickets, 25 for concessions, because it was almost a copy and paste of the first one.
Yes.
All they did was just add in the element of Goose's son is now at the school, and there's this top secret mission. So they're going through all this other crap, but it was just a rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
And it's also that the thing that they do in the film that's really kind of, I've flown a plane, so I know a little bit about the dynamic of the plane. And whenever I see they want to make it like, we're going to go faster, he pushes that stick forward. That puts the nose down, man. It's like that's, that's not something that there's all the, like those are fly-by-wire aircraft. The movements are, the hand movements aren't, it's very slight, But what I do think is badass is he actually flew the fucking jet. That to me, I forgive everything because I know he flew the fucking jet.
Well,
So,
and actually, the jet that he flew was his own personal jet.
no, I think that was the Mustang that he flew in the end.
Yeah, the
That's what
Mustang in the
Is
end.
that a
The
P-51?
Mustang was his, yeah. But the jet, I think he went to from what I understand, I could be wrong, is that he went through he doesn't get to be an actor. He went to like an actual flight school, and I think he actually took off from the aircraft carrier. So I think they trained him up on that.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
can
so
you guys
I
imagine
actually-
flying like a P-51? Like it's basically like a convertible with a fucking aircraft around it, right? And you, can you imagine doing that shit? Like,
Well, that
like
was
the fucking the Army Air Force, which was like the predecessor, you know, and then going into the Korean War when the Air Force, you know, and they had the P-51s in Korea and shit. Like, can you guys fucking imagine that? Like, those dudes had fucking balls that like clanked. Like,
I mean,
holy shit.
when you look at some of the aircraft they flew in World War II, I've been doing a deep dive on a lot of World War I films. Like I just watched All Quiet on the
1917?
Western Front, which is
Oh, how was that? How was that? How was
fucking
that?
amazing, fucking amazing. Yeah,
Did you ever read the? Did you ever?
dude, I'm old. Yeah, we had to read it in high school. Back in high school when I grew up, we had to read all the classic literature.
Did you ever,
Mhm.
as a kind of a film buff, did you ever watch the German version or the classic version of it?
Yes.
God, it was watched, or was it silent film? Am I mistaken? I think it was a silent film, but they did
No,
all
I think Henry Fonda was in it.
along the Western.
I think Henry Fonda. I think it was one of the first talkies. I think Henry Fonda was in it.
Tell us about
think
all
so.
along the Western Front. Tell us about it real quick.
Well, it's just again, there's there's one called Hill 66, all about the there's like 3 films about it was 1917. I love that. I've been doing just a deep dive in all these films that really look at that trench warfare in France during the First World War, and it's just the nuances, like how they're fucking hungry all the time. Like there's no food. These guys weren't really taken care of. How like they had, and it's this thing that it's funny. I'll go back to gaming. Since I started playing, Black Warzone, I found myself, I'm pretty good with weapons. I'm trained. I can, I've never been in combat, so I can't even fucking attest to that. But I've been in simulations. I've been in, tactical training stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, but when I started playing the game, I found myself panicking, trying to get aim. I was rushing things as opposed to, because I thought everyone else was faster than me. So it took me a while to figure out, just calm down, get target and shoot, right? And what I found was great in a couple of the scenes in Western Front was like, they had bolt action rifles. So you come in, and if you miss recharging the round, it took a minute. It took a few seconds. And when they both missed, you see one guy, they're both, the one guy who lost looked up, and the German guy who was focused, shot, they're in the trenches and it's mayhem. But it really hit me like, wow, that was the difference. Focus on, if you're worrying about the other guy, you're not doing your job. If you're worrying about the opponent, you got to worry about, load that fucking chamber, get aim, and keep moving. That was a very profound moment to say that's a really good. Let's say you have in movies you have a consultant, or you have like a weapons director, somebody who's going to helps with the authenticity. I mean, there's a lot of movies I've had that, and it's been wonderful to have some guys who've been in NOM say, no, do this. This is what it really is. So that's when I see movies that show that little nuance of authenticity. Yeah, of course it happened. 2 guys both missed and got to recharge with the bolt action. One guy jams up. Like, yeah, that's how it happened, and you can really feel it. And there's one moment where they get into the French bunker, and there's food everywhere. And the Germans haven't eaten in days, and they just start mowing down.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, all these rats run by them, right? And what's happening is these tanks are rolling over it's just really great nuanced things that, I don't remember them in the book, but they just added it to the movie. So one time I think the movie's actually better than the book.
Setting is very important, especially when you're like transferring some of that stuff. And I always love when they add those like minute details to give it a little bit of that flair to keep you interested
Well,
enough.
that's the beauty of filmmaking. If you can use the cameras and the angles and just let your actors experience something. You know, like I was reading when they're doing, like I know with Private Ryan, they actually went through boot camp.
Yeah.
Dale Dye, the guy who's the great, I think he's dead now, the great military advisor for all of Hollywood.
Yeah, he was in Platoon.
Yeah,
And
I knew Dale for
many. Did you get to meet him?
Dale
you know
helped
him?
me out with a couple. I knew Dale. Yeah, I spent time at his house. He stuck a dagger out in my neck. He literally jabbed me with a dagger because he had one of his battle knives from Vietnam, and it had a little angle on it. I said, I'd never seen this before. He goes, yeah, because come here. And he grabbed me by the fucking neck, and he's right there. He goes, yeah, this will go right down into your heart. And I'm like a little fucking, he cut like, and he was just that kind of big personality kind of guy, generous as hell. I needed some gear. I was doing a sizzle reel from my my film, and I needed some gear. Fucking came over, dropped all types of vintage Vietnam gear. And he's just a really generous dude. Anyways, I know he put with Platoon too. He put these guys just through a brutal 2-week training, and that got them in the right state of mind. And a lot of actors quit. A lot of actors, fuck this. I'm not. I'm an actor. I'm not going through this. Other actors, fuck yeah, let's get dirty, man.
Method acting. Let's go.
Well, it's like that's why I say when people talk about celebrities being assholes. No, there are guys who fucking dig it, getting in the dirt, getting dirty, getting beat up a little bit because it makes you feel the part more. And I heard these guys on the Western Front went through some brutal fucking experiences. Like you're in the mud, you're actually shooting in trenches in the mud. It wasn't and they were there for days, and they were deprived of. Oh yeah, the canteen. I've had this on film too. Like, oh yeah, no food today, guys. The caterer's truck broke down. A kid named Nick Mazzanato. He's a ranger. I did a film for him called Seal Patrol up in Utah. He did some of that shit to us, where he kind of like they put us through like 3-4 days of really intense breach and clear at this place called Global Industries. They're a mercenary company basically, and they were training us, doing low-level jumps and things, and a lot of weapons training, a lot of breach, and a lot of room tactics, and just they would throw things in every now and then just to fuck us up. And this kid, this Mike, he was a Vietnam vet. He was one of Dale's right-hand men. He brought us through all his stuff. He's just a great guy. Great guy.
That's really cool, man. You've definitely seen a lot, and you've definitely done a lot, and you've had a hell of a career. You've had a very interesting one. You've been on General Hospital.
Hey, my mom used to videotape, like in the VCR, like tape all the soaps and shit, like, hey,
you were on. Yep.
General Hospital was my first real job.
Nice.
And it was a gift. A guy named Mark Tesher, the casting director. I had known him briefly in New York for reasons I'm not going to go into. I was in New York. I owned a restaurant, and I was a hockey coach for many years in New York City. So I met him.
The Herentals?
No, I played for Herentals actually. That's a team in Belgium I played for. We won the Belgian national championship of that team.
83-84 season, correct?
Did you really?
83-84 season?
I think it's 82, 83 maybe. It could be 83, 84.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah.
That's badass.
But yeah, what's that?
That's badass. That's awesome.
Dude, I played hockey in Europe for a couple of years. It was fucking amazing. I mean, I have a lot. That's a whole show. That experience, part of my life is a whole freaking show. How it happened, what I did when I got there, just the experiences I had playing overseas, and I played in Italy, France. I've been in the Alps. I mean, it's like it's a whole other story, man. It's a whole other lifetime. It's like I don't even think about it half the time. It's there.
Yeah, it's actually funny.
Talk about Dale. I talk about authenticity, movies. I'm done. Hey, guys, you got to reel me in. I go off the rails. I just go from.
Oh no, you're good. Well, I got something here that may interest you. Do you remember filming this scene on the show Loving? Oh wait, I'm clicking the wrong thing.
Hold on.
Hey, that chick's kind of cute.
Oh no!
Hey, that's cute.
No.
That chick was kind of cute too.
Where did you get this?
Oh yeah, dude.
It's on YouTube.
Where did you get this?
Finished anyway.
Where did you get this? Where did you get this? I have never seen that.
The whole
Yeah, dude.
I have never seen that. I never watched the show. Oh,
so the whole
Get the fuck
it
outta here.
seems
You
to me
serious, dude?
it took me about 8 episodes to find that clip. But it seems to me that the whole series Loving is on YouTube.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, bro.
So
all
when
right,
I was
so-
when I was explaining earlier, James, when I was explaining
So
to you that we
the Mark Teschner was the casting director for Loving. That's how that happened.
So
that
when
was-
I was explaining to you earlier today, me and John spent like 3 afternoons this week just scrubbing your IMDb profile, trying to find clips of the most absurd, crazy, off-the-wall scenes you might have done in TV and movies.
I have
That's the
never.
stuff we found.
I have never seen that scene ever.
Did you guys?
Looks
Did you
pretty
guys?
good, actually. I was.
John,
I
you're gonna have to
wasn't even an
John,
actor
you're gonna have to
then. I wasn't
replay
even
that. The
an
man,
actor.
the man said he was. The man said he was finished. He said he was finished anyways. Like you got to replay, dude. Fucking replay that shit. That was fucking badass, dude. Replay that shit for that poor cuck. Dude.
I have never
cuck.
seen this clip in my life. This is amazing. Play it. Please play it again. Oh my God.
Play it again.
Let me
You get the hell out of here now.
No problem. I finished anyway.
God damn. God.
Oh.
God damn.
I've also been questionable to know too. Now, not only did I find that, I found your General Dynamics commercial from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah.
Yeah, which is absolutely hilarious. One of my favorite things. But then I also found your Wheaties commercial too.
Well, I'm proud of that.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask about the Wheaties commercial too. So from you playing hockey, did that lead you to get casted in the Wheaties commercial?
Well, how did that happen? It was a weird thing. I was, yeah, man. I was playing. I had the summer off. I was gonna go back and play in France, I think, and I was hanging out in New York. Just always had an interest in trying to be an actor. I never took any classes. I just showed up with a fucking attitude, which would work until I had to memorize lines and shit. That kind of, and this is a whole story into itself. But the hockey thing happened. I was just going to a rink, and I walk into by accident, and I was because I was training for the summer. I was trying to get and my buddy Lou Vero, a guy who I knew from juniors and stuff, was the assistant coach for the Devils, and they had this 4-rink facility. And I just figured if I was hanging out at the rink a little bit, Lou's there, I may get a chance to to get on the ice because we talk. He says, "Yeah, hang on. If we get you down here, we have." So I was there, and I walked into the wrong fucking locker room, and I'm a pro. I was a pro hockey player. I was playing hockey for a living, so I was in shape, and I just ended up on the ice on the wrong rink with a bunch of actors who weren't hockey players, guys with figure skates on. Actors, we have a tendency to lie a lot about our capabilities. I can, I know how to use a samurai sword. Never fucking touched one in my life, but you say it because You just have to look good for 3 seconds. So I get on the ice, and I'm like, man, what's going on here? Lou was supposed to say, there's an open skate. It's like sometimes they open the ice up for the players to get the rust off. So I was supposed to get on that kind of skate. It's kind of open ice, but it's closed to the organization only. And I'm on the wrong rink, and so I'm just kind of pissed. I thought, Lou was fucking with me. And so I just shooting at the goaltenders from center ice, pinging them in the head and stuff. I was just pissed but I needed the ice. And I'm going off the ice, and the producer came out and said, where are you going? I go, dude, what's going on? He goes, you're here. Tell me you're here for the audition. I go, no, I'm here. We'll lose ice. He goes, no. This is a Wheaties audition. I go, what the fuck? I don't. He goes, the producers love you, man. They fucking love you. And I go, yeah, but I want to get a tryout here. I have to go back to Europe. He goes, how much money are you gonna make in the minors? I go, $20,000. He goes, you're gonna make $40,000 on this without no one's gonna knock your teeth out. I go, seriously? He goes, yeah. So he goes, you mind come up and eating some cereal for us? I go, seriously, 40 grand? He goes, yeah. So I'm up there fucking ate some cereal, and they said, let some milk drip down your face. I go, fuck this. Like I've been sucking a cock or something. No, I don't want some fucking milk coming down my face. No. So, and it was just the attitude. So play the whole commercial, and you see this fucking cocky-ass kid. That was me just saying fuck you to everybody.
So not only are you the voice of one of the OG badasses in video games and Call of Duty, you done a Viagra commercial. And then, back in the fucking 80s, 90s, you did fucking Wheaties.
Yeah.
I think you're my new fucking hero, James. What the fuck, man? Jeez,
brother, raise your fucking bar. Raise your bar.
And then we've got another thing that was mentioned earlier that I didn't even know, and I'm a big country music fan.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, yeah.
So apparently James was in the music video for What Hurts the Most by Rascal Flatts.
Yeah.
By who? Who? I'm sorry, Joe. Who's
Rascal Flatts.
Okay, so I'm familiar with that band, but I'm not familiar with their music.
Yeah, he did. It was a massive hit.
Really big hit. At the time, what was it like filming a music video? That's my question.
Dude, it's
like everything else.
You hit your mark, you say your line, you try to be authentic as you can. You try to have a relationship with the person across from you. You try to have a conversation. Hit your mark, say your line, and be as authentic as you possibly can. That's acting, man. Now, every medium, soap opera is different from a network show. A network show is different from doing a low-budget film. It's different from doing a big-budget film. It's different from doing a commercial. And theater is different. You just adapt your skills to the environment in which you're placed. So it's the same thing. That was a fun job. It was a chance to be more of a vulnerable guy than up to that point. I just been playing just hard asses, and this was the first time I get a chance to be a little bit. To do some have more vulnerability, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. It's very cool because I see the different works that you've done, and you're very versatile. You're not like.
Oh, thank you.
It's very cool to see an actor do that, to put themselves into different roles and be comfortable to do it like they're either.
I never said I was comfortable. The rule of life for me is, if I'm comfortable, I'm not doing as much as I can. So I try to find things that make me comfortable, and it's funny how when you face the discomfort and you kind of work through it, it expands you. You've all trained, if you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing, you're not evolving, you're not developing. So going to the parts that make me that I'm uncomfortable doing, I was very uncomfortable doing Call of Duty, So, but you bust through the discomfort, and all of a sudden you've got something new and better in your life.
Joe Poe asks, what would be your perfect role?
No, fuck, I don't know. a role where I could live at my own house. No, that's not true. God, they're all perfect roles, man. I just love working. You know,
I love that.
they're all perfect roles. If it's, you know, I have an audition this afternoon for a low budget cop film where I pay like a bad cop, an FBI agent. But you know, I was watching the audition this morning. Oh, I'm going to add something here. I'm going to make it. Give the guy a little bit of a twitch. You know, right now I had him kind of being squared away, but now he's a drug addict now. So what's perfect is having an investment in the job. So if I can, like, there's something that makes me crazy. I listen to these guys on YouTube saying, you know, go out, find your passion, live your passion. You know, fuck that. Become passionate with everything you do. Become passionate tying your fucking shoes. Become passionate cleaning out your fucking drawers. Become passionate in your job. Find passion in what you do, because it's not out there. You got to create it. You got to go into it, and it's that place. You know, the place where you get dirty. You know, you've all done the first time you go through an obstacle course. You got to crawl through the fucking mud. It's the resistance to it. But then I say, fuck it, I'm going in. You know, like that's for me. That is what we do every day. And in my business, I'm just waiting for the opportunity to jump in and splash around and get dirty again. So there's no perfect role is what I do in the moment. That makes a role perfect, right?
Awesome. So I have so we're going to be ending soon, but I do have a couple quick questions for you. Some from our viewers here. Actually, Jesus Isla asked two very funny questions. One is, hey Burns, since you're the voice of Woods, do you get hooked up with Mountain Dew and Doritos with the Call of Duty relationship that they have?
Probably not, because I don't eat junk food or drink soda, so probably fucking not. No, I haven't really exploited that aspect of Woods. I kind of wish I had earlier on, because I probably could use the money, but you know, well, I mean, this again,
$20 is $20, guys.
Hey, $10 is $10, man. You know, it's just you know, I'm not rich. I'm comfortable, but I'm not rich. That's the fallacy of visibility. Like most actors, you know, aren't Tom Cruise. Like Tommy gets, I hope I get scale in the same film. You know, that's the nature of the beast. They're not tuning in to see me. They're tuning in to see Tom, the stars. So until you become a star, until you become the reason why people are watching the show or the movie, then you're a beggar. You got to take what you can get. But once you become the reason people show up, now you have a career. Now people are trying to find you because you can bankroll their project, because you know that's just the industry. It's kind of an ugly truth, but if you accept it, you can find your place and see what happens. You know.
I had a question.
That did not answer the fucking question, did it?
Well, no. Well, and I love. Look at that fucking meme. Like, James, you get it. You get it clearly. Like, you get it. You know what I mean? Like, I had a quick question. This is from earlier, but one of my buddies like actually instant messaged me, and he said, "Does the culture of activism like currently, does it ever affect your performance or any aspect of your time while developing projects that you're on?" Like if it like
constantly, constantly. I have to.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
If I work on certain shows, I have to really temper. Even asking questions can be like. I was on a show. I was on a show. I'm not gonna say what show it was. Very popular. It was a big primetime show, and they had a director there who was female and she was black, and she had not done a lot of action, and when you're moving fast, especially on TV, you get a shorthand, like, you know, especially when you have weapons involved, and you have movement and action, and it's, you know, and so I asked the question. I said, you know, hey, what's my line here? What's my line of movement, right? And she goes, you don't have any lines here. I go, I know that, but where's my line? What's, you know, it's the one, and it became very contentious, because she felt I was being disrespectful. And I was just saying, no, I need to know where to go next. And this was escalating until finally the star of the show stepped in and put her in her place. But she had never done action, but she'd been given this role because, that it's an activism thing. And, they're trying to create more opportunities for people. But at the same time, when you do that, I think you create an insecurity. Like, oh, I don't know how to do this, but I can't show vulnerability because the effects it has on the personalities around you who are being sort of gifted with this or are kind of put into these circumstances to do things they've never done before, and they're not very good at it, but they can't show weakness because it might ruin it for everybody else. See, it gets complicated. So I find that I really have to know where I am, and it's a situational awareness. Who am I talking to? How am I? It's exhausting, but this is the job I'm in. I'm not going to change the culture because the culture, I'm a beggar. I'm hired. I've been fired for not stating my pronoun.
How about that? That sounds interesting. That sounds really.
I'm not getting into it because it could be.
No, that's
research.
okay. No, I'm just saying.
But I've been like, it's like, wow, that's, and it wasn't a nasty thing. It was a kind of a good idea because I didn't quite get it. What they want, like the show had.
You might not have fit the culture, like the tribe, if you will.
Yeah,
the tribe,
and the thing is, I'm not pissed because they paid me. They paid out my contract, but they felt that, to me, to the detriment of the character in the show, they needed somebody who was going to be ruffle feathers, but that's not what it's about.
Sure.
I am here to serve the script. I am here to serve the production.
Sure.
So at the end of the day, I'm here to fulfill the director's vision. Now,
almost every time you talk, you remind me of the what is it, like the saying about it's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in a war. You know what I mean? Like, you seem like you've been around the block like quite a few times. Like, I'd love to.
I love that one. Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, I love that.
I would love to sit at a pub with you and just fucking pick your brain for like 3 hours with like fucking pint after pint of fucking beer, dude.
Yeah,
like,
and then the toxic goo you be taking off your fucking head be like awful. Be like fucking slime. Oh my god, why did I listen to this guy?
No. I think you seem pretty astute to me. Like you've done enough. You've been around. You've had such a wide and varied adventure in life. Really. Yeah. Just like an adventure in life, and that's that's fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah, I think that's my father's fault. My father was a raging alcoholic, and he would batter me with his stories of being in the Merchant Marine, and I'm gonna get back on a boat and go back to and I always had this idea of like,
I'll drink to that.
But he had great stories about being in faraway places and being in and I always used to love his stories. That's all. He got drunk, he'd start off with a great story, would end up being a fist fight with me or my mother or somebody. But I just remember always thinking I'd rather have a great story to tell and have to clear up a mess than not take. Okay, yes, I'm gonna go do this. I'd rather do it and ask for forgiveness than not do it and ask.
Better to ask forgiveness than permission. That's right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a saying in the Army. It's better to ask forgiveness.
It always ended well. I mean, there's a lot of regrets there too, man. There's a lot of regrets.
Sure, but that's also how you learn. That's also how you learn.
Like, you get to see the tip of the iceberg. That's all you're seeing because that's what's public. But there's a downside to it as well.
Right.
Nice. So recently, Bayonetta voice actress Helena Taylor was recasted in Bayonetta for Jennifer Hale. The similar thing happened with you and the rest of the cast of Black Ops, which you were recast by Damon Victor Allen. Did he contact you for any advice or anything for prepare?
You would think. I don't know. I've reached out to him many times to get him on the show. I thought, hey, the two of us, the two Woods, we could have a great time. And I'm a singer songwriter. He's a drummer. I go, hey, we can put together a trip to a USO thing. Never got back to me. Even Bruce, who plays Adley, he had gone. I had known him in New York.
Yeah.
And when I did it, for some reason. And we were going to have a show together, and then he canceled on me, would never get in touch with me again. So I don't know what to think about all that. I wish somebody here reached out to me while they're putting together Cold War, because most of the people who were there during Black Ops 1, 2, and 4 are gone.
Yeah.
I wrote all my dialogue in Black Ops 2. I wrote a lot of it in Black Ops 1, or improv a lot of it, and then I wrote a lot of Black Ops 4, a lot of the narrative and a lot of the special
Which
HQ.
was a great narrative too, with the little Easter eggs that you had to follow.
The thing is, I have all, and plus I've sat in meetings and I've talked with Dave Anthony, the head of the studio, the director of the Black Ops franchise. He and I, we're like brothers, man. We've had many of three bottle of wine dinners, going over stories and talking about things and punching. That's how we came to Old Man Woods. And so I have a lot of the connective tissue that I could have lent to the story. Like, there's things like, wait a minute, here's an opportunity to connect to Black Ops 2. Oh, here's an opportunity to explain something in Black Ops. You had great opportunities in Cold War to explain the story and tie it all together. And that's what I think I would have brought to the table, either as a performer, or as a performer, I probably would have been like, you know what? Let's not do it that way. Let's do it this. That's how I did last with Black Ops 1 and 2. I was very contentious until they finally said, all right, just come in and fucking write your own stuff. So, but it worked. Obviously, it worked, right?
I apologize. I was not trying to interrupt you. I'm fascinated by, like, even as a voice actor, there has to be some level of preparation for the character that you're voice acting, right? So, like, did you just go to like a bunch of VFWs and like hang around and like drink shots of whiskey and smoke cigarettes all night and like listen to like how did you prepare to, especially if when you talk about writing dialogue too, like when you want to sound authentic as a character like the guy you played in Call of Duty, like, what was your preparation for that? Like, what was the initial like, okay, it's a video game, but I still need to sound authentic. Like,
you're kind of going backwards. When I say authenticity, I mean, okay, you've met me.
Well, you did a good job though. Like that. That's
okay.
like,
Let me explain it to you.
Right?
Let me explain it to you. So when I say authenticity, it's authentic to me. Like, you've met me, right?
Right.
Do you see Woods now? He comes up and gets down. There's Woods is he's your best friend, but he can fucking shoot you in the face. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that there's this, I've been in fights and I've taken care of you. So authenticity is what is true to me. In this moment, what would I do? What could I do here? How would I handle this moment? Like, you can't fucking kill me. Like, he's not being petulant. He's doing neuro-linguistic programming that he would have learned. So the research is to understand the history of. So Woods would have gone through the School of the Americas down there, which was the place where special forces were trained.
You're a man that does his research. You're a man that does his research, and that's.
Well, you do your homework. That's homework. So I know that. So if have I been through trainings? Yeah, I've been through. So what's this like? And so in this moment, what would if I was stuck in a situation where I had to find a moment in time to make a move? I want to create doubt in somebody else. That's being an athlete. That's talking trash as a hockey player. Hey, man, you're not going to win tonight, man. Go home. Something like that. Just put doubt in for a fraction. So when they come up to you, they're not quite. So in that moment, what I wanted to do is the guy with the hat with the gun. I wanted to put a doubt, because we're going to make a move here. I want to put a doubt in his head. Say, you can't kill me. He goes, of course I can. I can fucking shoot you right now. So, but I've distracted him from worrying about what's going on. He's now in his head thinking about arguing that he could kill me anytime he wants. And that to me would create the vacuum of action. So instead of having to get somebody who's aware, he's in his head like, no, he couldn't fucking do that. You know how people are when you challenge them. It's like, no, I can fucking stab you right now. He's not focusing on the moment. He's in his head. That's authenticity to me. That makes sense, right?
Absolutely.
That's where that line came from. So so the preparation is to study the time, to talk to people who've been there, get the nuances, like how did you feel about that? And then draw from my own experience in life, like, okay, when something like that been similar for me? Oh yeah, I almost died here. Oh, I fell off this fucking ice cliff and I was hanging out by, oh, okay, I know that feeling. Oh, hey, I got a fishing hook stuck through my finger. I had to kind of snip it out and take it out. It's just certain things you do. I've cut myself really badly with a knife. What does that feel like? I've been tired. I've been lost on tops of mountains. I've been cold. I've been hot. I've been beat up.
You got stuck on a plane having to watch fucking Maverick.
Yeah, I get stuck in a plane having watching fucking Maverick. A trauma which I may never get over again. So the point is, authenticity means you draw on your personal depth of you recognize the situation and what would I do? How would I do that?
That's awesome.
And then but you got to come to you try to understand the circumstances, the times, the history, and all the connective tissue, and then you sit down and you put yourself in that place. That's why I say go back to reading. The more you read, the more you create mental images, and the stronger you get when you have to create a future for yourself. Now this machinery work. Like, and I start reading.
Did you hear that, you illiterate window licking fucks out there? Get fucking literate. Get fucking good. Get fucking gooder at English. You fucking illiterate fuck.
Get gooder.
Like, get gooder. What the fuck is wrong with you guys, dude? Like,
So,
I see your texts. We see your messages. Like I literally feel like I get hit over the head with a hammer sometimes trying to read the messages.
Yep.
Like, you guys really, really need to like get literate.
So
Butterfly in the sky.
So my last question, did you get to personally work with Ed Harris, Ice Cube, and Sam Worthington during the production?
No, they never showed up. No, again, I wasn't supposed to be Woods. Activision wanted a star. A guy named Dave Anthony decided, the guy who's the head of the studio, and he goes, no. Burns like, and there is tremendous amount of conflict having me there because they needed stars. And Woods is such a huge character, but the director said, look at this shit. This is the guy. This is the guy. And then they finally said, well, and he's a lot cheaper than a star too. So, there's a fiscal thing here. But so Sam, Ed, all those guys, they never came to set. I worked with a guy named Andrew Hawks, great utility actor. He's been in everything. Jeremy Dunn, again, he's a mocap. These guys would learn the lines, and the guy who played Bowman was the fuck's his name? Oh my God! Come on, I hate this. He's such a great actor.
Bowman.
He's in the ship.
Ice Cube.
Well, no, Ice Cube was never on set.
Physically there.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so basically, I had there's 3 or 4 actors who were great. With me, we had great relationships, which is why the relationships on camera are so good, because we were, we worked together for months. It's like we're friends, And the guy who played, who worked with me across, Andrew Hawks, played. Actually, you can see this. I had this video of the original character who did it. He was great. He's a great actor to be around, and even what's his name on. Reznov. He
Gary Oldman. Yeah.
He recorded his lines in Vancouver. He wasn't even in LA when he did it. So yeah, our paths never crossed. Sam, Ed, those guys. I was there. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing up there? Even when I won the VGA, they had there's a great thing from Dave Anthony talking about how did this guy, who's nobody, get the VGA over all these other stars. And he paid me a great compliment for that, But that was Dave Anthony. So I exist. I'm here today with you guys because of Dave Anthony. No other reason. He fought for me every step of the way. They wanted to fire me every fucking chance they could. He said no.
Thank you, David Anthony. Thank you.
David, thanks. I owe him, man. I owe that guy.
Yep. And our final question for the show: what mistakes have you made in your field that you would warn the up and coming actors, actresses?
I would not steal your experience of fucking up, because you're not going to learn what you need. You don't know what you don't know until the moment comes when you don't know it and you need to know it.
Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar, guys? It should. If you got your DD214, that should sound real fucking familiar. He's preaching it right now.
That's it, man. That's the deal. So what I would say is do the fucking work. Know your place. Like, know what you're doing. And get over yourself fast, man. Learn to love the process. Learn to love the audition, because it's a 99% failure rate. Learn to embrace every time you fuck up. Embrace it and follow it. And don't worry about being a star. You can't control that. Okay, don't worry about that. Be authentic. Be authentic if you can. But other than that, I'm not gonna fucking say anything other than get out there and do it. Just fucking do it. Get out there and do it. Go on a fucking street corner and do it. Go do. When I first started in earnest, my goal was to do one project a week for a year. So I did. I didn't care what it was. I'm in some of the worst fucking projects, the horrible movies, because you got to get out there and test yourself. You got to go out there and fucking make mistakes, fall down, get dirty, get up, figure out what went wrong, and do it again until it becomes a craft. Which, unless you start doing it, and you don't need a fucking, you don't need to be on General Hospital or Call of Duty. Go in your backyard, get your fucking camera, and start shooting.
Oh, that's when
That's how I did it. I just fucking
took
a camera.
The art and the science, right? Art. That's where you're getting like the difference between the art and the science, right? Like that's like yeah.
Unless you do it, you don't know what you don't know. Get out there and make mistakes. Embrace your mistakes, but make mistakes every day. Don't wait for someone else to do it for you. Your agent doesn't matter. I didn't have an agent when I booked this. I booked it on my own. I booked Call of Duty. Most stuff I book, I get on my own. I bring jobs to my manager to manage. I got to manage because I got sick of negotiating for myself. It's too hard. It's too awkward. That's why I hired somebody. Your agent is only as good as your resume. People think, if I got an agent, you're just like, fuck it. The agent ain't shit until you become a star. Your agent is just taking your resume and throwing it into the fucking void, into the well with 100 other people. That's all they're doing. They're just throwing. Here's a resume. He's a good kid. It doesn't mean anything. What means something is do the work, get out there, get good at it, and then somebody's going to find you. So if you're good at this, somebody will find you.
Fuck yeah. And on that note, before we get to our final thought, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. You are to guys like us. You are a legend.
Oh, thank you.
A lot of us when Black Ops came out, actually 12 years ago this year.
Yeah.
I mean this week. 12 years ago this week on the 9th. It's actually kind of coincidental that you're here with us this week, and we're talking about Black Ops and having you here. You had a storied career. You are an even more fantastic person. I couldn't be more than happier to have you on. Where can we find you for those who want to follow you?
Let's see. The Instagram is jamesc.burns. Twitch, I'm probably playing today, is James C. Burns Twitch. And YouTube is Sarge's Corner.
Fantastic.
I gotta say,
Twitter, James C. Burns on Twitter. I'm really easy to find. If you type my name in a Google search, I'm really easy to find. Unfortunately,
I'm gonna have to hit you up. I'm gonna have to.
Then he ends up on shows with a bunch of degenerates like us.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna have to hit you up after the show, after we wrap up, because if you ever come through Kansas City, please let me know. I'm unlike these fine gentlemen that I do my podcast with, or excuse me, our podcast with. I never played the game. So like, to me, you're the dude that I would like to have a pint with. So like, if you're ever through Kansas City, like you and me are going to have to like, yeah, I'd love to treat you to some barbecue and some fucking pints, dude.
All right, barbecue. When you say barbecue, I'm in. I don't care what fucking barbecue, I'm in.
Kansas City. I live in Kansas City, so you just let me know. I have
one thing I'm going to ask you guys for help with. I am shifting into back into a music career. I've got a bunch of music coming out, and I'd love to send it to you guys. And if you like it, maybe promote it for me.
We would be more than happy to
Hey.
review it on DD214 Gaming.
If you wanted to, we could
Podcast.
even do a live show for your audience if you wanted to. I'm doing I have two things. I have my original stuff I'm doing, and then I got all the Call of Duty Christmas music that I write. I do two songs.
Call
So
of
I'd
Duty
love to do
Christmas
a
playlist.
concert.
That's fucking perfect.
Oh my fucking god!
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dude, I got a t-shirt. I got a t-shirt upstairs. Like right now, it literally says "Too Easy" on it. Like that's too easy. That's fun. That sounds fun. We like having fun.
I can't believe you guys did not track down my Christmas music, my Call of Duty Christmas music. You guys have seen the videos? There's like 5 of them.
All we did, we saw your original band from way back in the day, and we tried to track down that. We didn't look any further into it, and that is an oversight on the production side.
Go see what you missed.
Boo, disqualified. Disqualified.
I had one song called "So This Is Krampus," and then there's like 4.
You got a song about
Christmas
Krampus,
songs
dude?
with
Fuck yeah,
videos.
dude.
They have videos.
Fuck yeah.
by the way.
Oh, that gets me fucking pumped up, dude. You got a song about Krampus, dude. Fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah.
Listen to Krampus. Yeah, it's a video.
Oh, I can't fucking wait. Hell yeah. What you got, John?
I'm writing a new one. I got 2 new Christmas songs I'm working on right now. I hope to have 6 done for a Christmas concert. That's my mission this week, and I just wrapped up. I got 12 songs for the album that I'm doing now.
Jesus Christ, like that sounds like a lot of fun to me, dude. This sounds like a lot of fun to me.
We're coming into the holidays too, but thank you so much again, Jay. It is your week for the final thought. Oh shit!
What is it?
Can you send that link and I'll put it in the chat?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Play "So This Is Krampus." I'm proud of that song.
Yeah.
Please.
That's fucking good. What were you saying, John? I apologize, man. I got a little.
Oh, I was saying that you are the final thought for this episode. Let's find this Krampus song.
Okay. All right. Well, real quick before we do the final thought, I just wanted to make sure that we next week we are going to have our old pal Ronnie J doing a part 2, current drill sergeant on the trail down at beautiful Fort Sill. He's going to be here next week live. All right. We're going to freaking trade. We're going to trade stories off the trail. He was here about a year ago, for those of you guys that don't know. And he was just getting ready to start his time as a drill sergeant. So now we're going to trade stories from the trail. And then me and Ronnie served together on actually 2 different tours in Afghanistan. So we'll have that next week. The week following, 2 weeks from today, we're going to have Mike J from Running with Scissors, one of the developers, producers of Postal. He is going to be with us in 2 weeks. James, goddamn, bro. Like, please come see me in Kansas City. Dude, I got you. I got you. I got a free meal, barbecue, beer. Like, please come see me in Kansas City, dude. Please let me know when you're here. Like, I got you, homie. I got you. All right.
I tell you, I'll let it. I'm, at some point, I'd like to do a cross-country tour with the music stuff. So
right.
I'll put Kansas City on the list.
I do security at like Chiefs games and Royals games and concerts. And like, there's a beautiful little venue here called the Midland. It's called the Midland Theater. And it's downtown Kansas City, man. And like, if we could make it so that you could have a show there, like,
how we're friends now, man. We are friends. We'll do this. We are friends. We're going to do this.
We can make it happen. Like this is exactly what DD214 gaming and our community is about. We're not about promoting individuals. We're about fucking promoting each other, right? This is what we do here. All right. It's not about one fucking individual. We're very decentralized here. Okay. Like,
love it.
I want to reiterate that also before the final thought. DD214 gaming, very decentralized. This is a platform for you to freaking do other things for yourself as well. All right. We will promote you. We love you guys. Like, this is what we're here for. So now we'll go into the final thought. All right, guys. We're fucking 1 week away. 1 week away from all those fucking free meals. Free 99. All right, you got your DD214. You get your free meal. Next Monday is going to be Veterans Day, which means next Sunday when we have Ronnie J, Army Drill Sergeant, on the show, is going to be the Marine Corps birthday. And I think it's very fitting here at DD214 Gaming that we have an Army Drill Sergeant on here on the Marine Corps birthday. All right, because you guys get too much press. You guys get too much press. All right. I'm just putting it out there. You guys get too much press. All right. But you're very, very good. You guys are like Tom Cruise. You're really good at promoting yourselves. Like, I love you guys. No, I'm just kidding. Now, so to wrap up our final thought, guys, we take this part very, very seriously every week. So here's what I want you guys to do. We're getting close to the holidays. We're getting close to Thanksgiving. We're getting close to a lot of feels. Okay. There are people out there that love you. There are people out there that care. Okay. Do not ever feel like you are alone. Okay. Life is going to throw some shit at you that is going to be just unmerciful. Okay. Your balls are going to be shredded. You're going to be bleeding from a fucking vag you never fucking knew you had. You're weak in the knees. You're spitting blood and you're on the ground. Okay. That is not the time to give up. That is the time to get back to your fucking knees, okay? Stand the fuck back up onto your feet, get to a goddamn phone, and fucking call for help, all right? There are numbers that you can call. You can fucking dial 988. You can text 988, okay? If you are in some sort of crisis, but you have a little bit more, I guess, self-awareness, you can call 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. There are licensed behavioral health specialists on the phone 24 hours a day waiting to talk to you. I have personally dialed that number. I have personally been on the phone with one of those fine people, the fucking angels in the void, okay? The voices in the wilderness for 45 minutes, okay? Just because they care. You guys can do this. Okay? One is fucking too many. Okay? I wear fucking KIA bracelets every fucking day of my fucking life. And I probably will until the fucking day I fucking go down to die. If I had a fucking KIA bracelet for fucking every person that I've lost to suicide, they'd go up to my fucking shoulder. Get help, guys, because people care. You are worth it. All right? Future you will thank you. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
As a gentleman who's about to turn fucking 42 years old in a couple of months, okay, I'm telling you right now, it's hard to see what you don't see. And just like James said earlier, you don't know what you fucking don't know. And I'm not just talking about the portion of where we stay alive for ourselves. 20 years from now, there might be somebody fucking down the road that needs your fucking help. You won't be there if you're in a fucking box. All right? When it's our turn to go back to the stars, we will go back to the fucking stars. That is guaranteed. 10 out of 10 people die on a long enough timeline. We ain't got to fucking take it away from ourselves, and we don't got to take it away from the fucking people that love us. Call someone. Get help. It is okay to reach out. Okay? I am infantry of the fucking infantry. All right? I've done 3 tours in Afghanistan. I've got 2.5 years time there. Okay? That does not make me a fucking badass at all. Okay? If I can call for fucking help, you can call for fucking help. If you just need to fucking vent some shit out, you don't have to be fucking suicidal or homicidal. If you just have to get some shit off your fucking chest, call those motherfucking numbers. Reach out. Touch someone so they can touch you so that 20 years from now, when somebody else fucking needs your help, you will fucking be there and you'll have a fucking story to tell fucking of how you got through it when it was your turn. John, Joe, James, goddamn thank you. It was fucking beautiful fucking being here this week with you guys. Morale is high. I got to go do some security at Arrowhead. I love you guys very, very much. For those of you guys watching, I'm really good at fucking sneaking water into my fucking beers, dudes, and all that, okay? I love you guys.
Great to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you. And we'll finish it off.
Pleasure to meet you.
With the Christmas music, yeah.
John.
Fuck yeah.
Jingle woods, just call him Sarge. Met him in Quezon, armed with the car. Running and gunning and dropping of bombs. Looks like I'm shit, baby, this is now. Jingle woods, just call him Sarge. spreading his cheer with Cuban cigars, cussing and busting through enemy lines. It's you can kill me time, and it's a great time for a great line. You'll never know what he'll say, and never gets old when we're told we're gonna take that hind away. A drop zone dolphin dive will get you your skin. You play now as Sergeant Woods. Crank up the attitude and level your Glock. That's the Jingle Woods rock. You can't kill me, my goddamn onion. Here we go.
See it in 168 hours.
Jingle Woods, I got him an elf. Her name is Savannah, but here's something else. Mason's granddaughter, she's smoking hot too. Black guys, four guys, planning to do. And Jingle Woods is not an onion. It's a T-bone steak. He's very well done. Cold War is grooving with Adler and Bell. Ray Gun, Ronnie as well. And it's a great time for a great